Auburn University is a public research university located in Auburn, Alabama, United States, with more than 21,000 undergraduate students, and a total of more than 27,000 students and 1,200 faculty members. It is one of the largest universities in the state as well as one of two public flagship universities in Alabama. Auburn was chartered on February 1, 1856, as the East Alabama Male College, a private liberal arts school affiliated with the Methodist Episcopal Church, South. In 1872, the college became the state's first public land-grant university under the Morrill Act and was renamed the Agricultural and Mechanical College of Alabama. In 1892, the college became the first four-year coeducational school in the state. In 1960, its name was officially changed to Auburn University to acknowledge the varied academic programs and larger curriculum of a major university. In 1964, under federal court mandate, admitted its first African-American student. Auburn is among the few American universities designated as a land-grant, sea grant, and space grant research center. History. Auburn University was chartered by the Alabama legislature as the East Alabama Male College on February 1, 1856, coming under the guidance of the Methodist Church in 1859. The first president of the institution was Reverend William J. Sasnet, and the school opened its doors in 1859 to a student body of 80 and a faculty of 10. The early history of Auburn is inextricably linked with the Civil War and the Reconstruction era South. Classes were held in Old Main until the college was closed due to the Civil War, when most of the students and faculty left to enlist. The campus was used as a training ground for the Confederate Army, and Old Main served as a hospital for Confederate wounded. To commemorate Auburn's contribution to the Civil War, a cannon lathe used for the manufacture of cannons for the Confederate Army and recovered from Selma, Alabama, was presented to Auburn in 1952 by Brothers of Delta chapter of the Alpha Phi Omega fraternity. It sits today on the lawn next to Samford Hall. Post-Civil War, the school was reopened in 1866 following the end of the Civil War and has been open ever since. In 1872, control of the institution was transferred from the Methodist Church to the state of Alabama for financial reasons. Alabama placed the school under the provisions of the Morrill Act as a land-grant institution, the first in the South to be established separate from the state university. This act provided for 240,000 acres of federal land to be sold in order to provide funds for an agricultural and mechanical school. As a result, in 1872 the school was renamed the Agricultural and Mechanical College of Alabama. Under the provisions of this act, land-grant institutions were also supposed to teach military tactics and train officers for the United States military. In the late 19th century, most students at the Agricultural and Mechanical College of Alabama were enrolled in the cadet program, learning military tactics and training to become future officers. Each county in the state was allowed to nominate 2 cadets to attend the college free of charge. The curriculum at the university originally focused on engineering and agriculture. This trend changed under the guidance of William Leroy Brown, who taught classics and sciences and believed both disciplines were important in the overall growth of the university and the individual. In 1892, 2 historic events occurred. Women were first admitted to the Agricultural and Mechanical College of Alabama, and football was first played as a school sport. Eventually, football replaced polo as the main sport on campus. The college was renamed the Alabama Polytechnic Institute in 1899, largely because of Brown's influence. On October 1, 1918, nearly all of Alabama Polytechnic Institute's able-bodied male male students 18 or older voluntarily joined the United States Army for short-lived military careers on campus. The student soldiers numbered 878, according to API President Charles Thatch, and formed the academic section of the Student Army Training Corps. The vocational section was composed of enlisted men sent to Auburn for training in radio and mechanics. The students received honorable discharges 2 months later following the armistice that ended World War I. API struggled through the Great Depression, having scrapped an extensive expansion program by then-President Bradford Knapp. Faculty salaries were cut drastically, and enrollment decreased along with state appropriations to the college. By the end of the 1930s, Auburn had essentially recovered, but then faced new conditions caused by World War II. As war approached in 1940, there was a great shortage of engineers and scientists needed for the defense industries. The U.S. Office of Education asked all American engineering schools to join in a crash program to produce what was often called instant engineers. API became an early participant in an activity that eventually became engineering, science, and management war training, fully funded by the government and coordinated by Auburn's Dean of Engineering. College-level courses were given in concentrated, mainly evening classes at sites across Alabama, taken by thousands of adults, including many women. These courses were highly beneficial in filling the wartime ranks of civilian engineers, chemists, and other technical professionals. The ESMWT also benefited API by providing employment for faculty members when the student body was significantly diminished by the draft and patriotic volunteers. During the war, API also trained U.S. military personnel on campus. Between 1941 and 1945, Auburn produced over 32,000 troops for the war effort. Following the end of World War II, API, like many colleges around the country, experienced a period of massive growth caused by returning military personnel taking advantage of the GI Bill offer of free education. In the 5-year period following the end of the war, enrollment at API more than doubled. Name change to Auburn. Recognizing the school had moved beyond its agricultural and mechanical roots, it was granted university status by the Alabama legislature in 1960 and officially renamed Auburn University, a name that better expressed the varied academic programs and expanded curriculum that the school had been offering for years. However, it had been popularly called Auburn for many years even before the official name change. Auburn University was racially segregated prior to 1963, with only white students being admitted. Integration began in 1964 with the admittance of the first African-American student, Harold A. Franklin. The first degree granted to an African-American was in 1967. According to Auburn University's Office of Institutional Research and Assessment, African Americans comprise 1,828 of the university's 24,864 undergraduates as of 2013 and 49 of the 1,192 full-time faculty as of 2012. has decreased its African American faculty percentage from 4.3% in 2003 to 4.1% today. Since the settlement of legal challenges to the underrepresentation of African Americans in a use faculty in 2006, today, Auburn has grown since its founding to have an on-campus enrollment of over 25,000 students and a faculty of almost 1,200 at the main campus in Auburn. There are also more than 6,000 students at the Auburn University at Montgomery's satellite campus established in 1967. Academics. Auburn has traditionally been rated highly by academic ranking services, and has been listed as one of the top 50 public universities for 20 consecutive years. The 2014 edition of U.S. News & AMP World Report ranks Auburn as the 103rd university in the nation among public and private schools and 48th among public universities. Auburn was the only college or university in Alabama included in the inaugural edition of the widely respected Peterson's Guides to America's 296 Most Competitive Colleges. Furthermore, the 1995 edition of the Guide to 101 of the Best Values in America's Colleges and Universities listed Auburn in the prestigious National Flagship University category. Auburn is a charter member of the Southeastern Conference, currently composed of 13 of the largest Southern public universities in the U.S. and one private university, Vanderbilt. Among the other 12 peer public universities, Auburn is ranked 4th in the 2011 edition of U.S. News & AMP World Report. This high ranking and reputation for academic quality is in spite of the fact that Auburn's $378.6 million endowment is currently the second smallest of the 13 SEC universities. An attempt to increase the endowment by $500 million began in 2005 with the "It Begins at Auburn" campaign. As of August 2006, the campaign had raised $523 million, making it the largest campaign in university history. The university currently consists of 13 schools and colleges. Programs in architecture, pharmacy, veterinary science, engineering, forestry, and business have been ranked among the best in the country. The journal Design Intelligence, in its 2013 edition of America's Best Architecture and Design Schools, ranked Auburn's undergraduate architecture program number 9 and industrial design program no. 6 nationally. In addition, Auburn's graduate landscape architecture program was ranked no. 13 nationally and industrial design program 4th. The undergraduate interior design program in the College of Human Sciences is ranked no. 1 nationally by Design Intelligence magazine. For its annual survey, America's Best Architecture and AMP Design Schools, the publication asked 277 leading architecture and design firms which schools best prepare students for success in the profession, based on interior design programs accredited by the Council for Interior Design Accreditation. Auburn was ranked no. 1 in the nation, along with Savannah College of Art and Design. Auburn's College of Architecture pioneered the nation's first interior architecture degree program, its dual-degree architecture and AMP interior architecture degree was the first in the nation. Its College of Architecture, Design, and Construction pioneered the nation's first design-build master's degree program, capitalizing on the college's building science program with Auburn's Rural Studio program, where architectural students build highly creative and ingenious homes for some of the poorest regions of Alabama. These homes and efforts have been publicized by People magazine, Time, featured on The Oprah Winfrey Show, numerous architectural and construction periodicals as well. Of special mention is the school's Rural Studio program, founded by the late Samuel Mockbee. The Samuel Ging College of Engineering has a 134-year tradition of engineering education, consistently ranking in the nation's largest 20 engineering programs in terms of numbers of engineers graduating annually. The college has a combined enrollment of close to 4,000. Auburn's College of Engineering offers majors in civil, mechanical, electrical, industrial and systems engineering, polymer and fiber engineering, aerospace, agricultural, biosystems, materials, chemical engineering, computer science, and software engineering, and, more recently, began a program in wireless engineering after receiving a donation from alumnus Samuel L. Ginn. In 2001, Ginn, a noted U.S. pioneer in wireless communication, made a $25 million gift to the college and announced plans to spearhead an additional $150 million in support. This gave Auburn the first Bachelor of Wireless Engineering degree program in the United States. Auburn University was the first university in the Southeast to offer the Bachelor of Software Engineering degree and the Master of Software Engineering degree. Auburn has historically placed much of its emphasis on the education of engineers at the undergraduate level, and in recent years has been ranked as high as the 10th largest undergraduate engineering program in the U.S. in terms of the number of undergraduate degrees awarded on an annual basis. The Ginn College of Engineering is now focused on expanding the graduate programs, and was recently ranked 60th nationally university with doctoral programs in engineering by U.S. News & Amp World Report. Last year, the college ranked 67th among all engineering programs. America's Best Graduate Schools 2006 ranks the Ginn College of Engineering's graduate program in the top 100 graduate engineering programs in the U.S. Auburn's Industrial and Systems Engineering, Civil Engineering, Chemical Engineering, and Mechanical Engineering were all ranked in the top 100. Auburn's Economics Department was ranked 123rd in the world in 1999 by the Journal of Applied Econometrics. Auburn was rated ahead of such international powerhouses as INSEAD in France and the London Business School. Auburn's MBA program in the College of Business has annually been ranked by U.S. News & Amp World Report magazine in the top 10% of the nation's more than 750 MBA programs. The Ludwig von Mises Institute offices were once located in the business department of Auburn University, and the LVMI continues to work with the university on many levels. Nationally recognized ROTC programs are available in 3 branches of service: Air Force, Army, and Navy, Marine Corps, the latter being the only one in Alabama. Each of these units is ranked among the top 10 in the nation. Over 100 officers that attended Auburn have reached flag rank, including one, Carl Epting Mundy Jr., who served as Commandant of the U.S. Marine Corps. Auburn is one of only 7 universities in the Nuclear Enlisted Commissioning Program, and has historically been one of the top ROTC producers of Navy nuclear submarine officers. In addition to the many outstanding ROTC graduates commissioned through Auburn, 2 master's degree alumni from Auburn, 4-star Generals Hugh Shelton and Richard Myers, served as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff in the last decade. Both officers received the commissions elsewhere, and attended Auburn for an MS and MBA. Auburn has graduated 6 astronauts and 1 current and 1 former director of the Kennedy Space Center. 1972 Auburn Mechanical Engineering graduate Jim Kennedy, currently director of NASA's Kennedy Space Center, was previously deputy director of NASA's Marshall Space Flight Center. Several hundred Auburn graduates, primarily engineers and scientists, currently work directly for NASA and NASA contractors. Hundreds of Auburn engineers worked for NASA at MSFC during the peak years of the space race in the 1960s, when the Saturn and Apollo moon programs were in full development. Auburn University owns and operates the 423-acre Auburn University Regional Airport, providing flight education and fuel, maintenance, and airplane storage. The Auburn University Aviation Department is fully certified by the FAA as an air agency with examining authority for private, commercial, instrument, and multi-engine courses. In April 2015, Auburn University received the nation's first FAA approval to operate a new unmanned aircraft systems flight school as part of the Auburn University Aviation Center. The College of Business's Department of Aviation Management and Supply Chain Management is the only program in the country to hold dual accreditation by the Association to Advanced Collegiate Schools of Business and the Aviation Accreditation Board International. Created over 65 years ago, Auburn's flight program is also the second oldest university flight program in the United States. The old rotation on campus is the oldest continuous agricultural experiment in the Southeast and third oldest in the United States, dating from 1896. In addition, the work of Dr. David Bransby on the use of switchgrass as a biofuel was the source of its mention in the 2006 State of the Union address. The university recently began a Master of Real Estate Development program, one of the few in the Southeast. The program has filled the void of professional real estate education in Alabama. Modern Healthcare ranked Auburn University's Physicians Executive MBA program in the College of Business 9th in the nation among all degree programs for physician executives, according to the Journal's May 2006 issue. Among MBA programs tailored specifically for physicians, AU's program is ranked second. SECU SEC Academic Initiative. Auburn University is a member of the SEC Academic Consortium, now renamed the SECU, a collaborative endeavor designed to promote research, scholarship, and achievement among the member universities in the Southeastern Conference. The SECU formed its mission to serve as a means to bolster collaborative academic endeavors of Southeastern Conference universities. Its goals include highlighting the endeavors and achievements of SEC faculty, students, and member universities and advancing the academic reputation of SEC universities. In 2013, the Auburn University participated in the SEC Symposium in Atlanta, Georgia, which was organized and led by the University of Georgia and the UGA Bioenergy Systems Research Institute on the impact of the Southeast in the world's renewable energy future. Colleges, schools and departments. Date indicated as year of founding. Campus arrangement. The Auburn campus is primarily arranged in a grid-like pattern with several distinct building groups. The northern section of the central campus contains most of the College of Engineering buildings, the Leder Business Building, and the older administration buildings. The middle section of the central campus contains the College of Liberal Arts and the College of Education, mostly within Haley Center. The southern section of the central campus contains the most of the buildings related to the College of Science and Mathematics, as well as fine arts buildings. Several erratic building spurts, beginning in the 1950s, have resulted in some exceptions to the subject clusters as described above. Growing interaction issues between pedestrians and vehicles led to the closure of a significant portion of Thatch Avenue to vehicular traffic in 2004. A similarly sized portion of Roosevelt Drive was also closed to vehicles in 2005. In an effort to make a more appealing walkway, these two sections have been converted from asphalt to concrete. The general movement towards a pedestrian-only campus is ongoing, but is often limited by the requirements for emergency and maintenance vehicular access. The current period of ongoing construction began around the year 2000. All recently constructed buildings have used a more traditional architectural style that is similar to the style of Samford Hall, Mary Martin Hall, and the Quad Dorms. The Science Center complex was completed in 2005. This complex contains chemistry labs, traditional classrooms, and a large lecture hall. A new medical clinic opened behind the Hill Dorm area, taking the place of the old medical clinic and a few other older buildings, is the Shelby Center for Engineering Technology. Phase 1 of the Shelby Center opened in the spring of 2008, with regular classes being held starting with the summer 2008 term. A new student center opened in 2008. Student Life Housing Auburn's initial campus master plan was designed by Frederick Law Olmsted, Jr. in 1929. For most of the early history of Auburn, boarding houses and barracks made up most of the student housing. Even into the 1970s, boarding houses were still available in the community. It wasn't until the Great Depression that Auburn began to construct the first buildings on campus that were residence halls in the modern sense. As the university gradually shifted away from agricultural and military instruction to more of an academic institution, more and more dorms began to replace the barracks and boarding houses. In the 1980s, the city of Auburn began to experience rapid growth in the number of apartment complexes constructed. Most Auburn students today live off campus in the apartment complexes and condos which surround the immediate area around the university. Only 19% of all undergraduate students at Auburn live on campus. Auburn's on-campus student housing consists of 4 complexes located at various locations over campus: the Quad, the Hill, the Village, and South Donahue. The Quad is the oldest of the 4 housing complexes, dating to the Great Depression. Projects begun by the Works Progress Administration and located in Central Campus, comprising 10 buildings split into the upper and lower quads. The Quad houses undergraduate students. 8 of the buildings are co-ed by floor, the remaining 2 are female only. The upper quad comprises 4 honors college dorms. The Hill consists of 12 buildings and is located in South Campus. The Hill houses mostly undergraduates. There are 2 high-rise, 6-story dormitories, and all dorms are co-ed with the exception of Lyshuk and Hall M, which are female only. All of the Hill dormitories were previously used to house sororities until 2009. The sororities are now housed in the newer Village complex. The Village was constructed in 2009 and includes 8 4-story buildings to accommodate 1,700 residents. This complex houses undergraduates and sororities. South Donahue opened in 2013 and is a single residence hall located on the corner of South Donahue and West Samford, right next to the baseball stadium. These are luxury suites consisting of 2 bedrooms with a shared common area. Each bedroom has a double-sized bed, and each suite comes fit with a mounted flat-screen TV and its own washer and dryer units. Greek life. Greek-associated students make up roughly 24% of undergraduate men and 34% of women at Auburn. Male Greeks in Auburn are roughly divided into 2 separate areas, Old Row and New Row. Old Row traditionally was made up of the fraternities whose houses were located along Magnolia Avenue on the north side of campus. New Row is made up of fraternities whose houses were located along Lem Morrison Drive southwest of campus. However, being an Old Row or New Row fraternity does not really depend on where the house is located but on the age of the fraternity. Therefore, there are some Old Row fraternities with houses on New Row, Lem Morrison Drive because they moved there. Today's Old Row on and around Magnolia Avenue was once the New Row. As the first generation of fraternity houses at Auburn Auburn were on or near College Street. Most of these houses were demolished by the end of the 1970s, and only the Phi Gamma Delta and Chi Phi fraternities remain. Some fraternities are not located on either New Row or Old Row. There are 17 social sororities represented at Auburn University. Sorority recruitment is a week-long process held by the Pan-Hellenic Council in August every year. Sororities are located not in individual houses like Auburn fraternities, but in the designated dorms located in the village. This has the unintended side effect of keeping dues for these sororities among the lowest in the nation. Each dorm has a sorority chapter room within it for the sorority designated to the dorm. NPHC organizations represented on Auburn's campus are fraternities: Alpha Phi Alpha, Kappa Alpha Psi, Omega Psi Phi, Phi Beta Sigma, Beta Theta Pi. Sororities: Alpha Kappa Alpha, Delta Sigma Theta, Zeta Phi Beta, Sigma Gamma Rho.